So this is my DIY project. For the first assignment, I have created a rook, which is a chess piece, and I took the screenshot while creating the first sketch, that was sketch 001, in order to complete the model, because once the model is completed I could not reach back to the sketch part. So this is a fully constrained figure with 0 degrees of freedom. These lines have been constrained to remain horizontal. There is a kind of a design here which has been hidden by the red lines indicating the lengths of the lines. The radii of curvature is 46 mm, which has been mentioned here. The constraint on the length is 46 mm, and the radii of curvature is 53 mm, which has been mentioned here. The constraints on the points of tangency has been applied between the two curves, and the constraint to remain horizontal has also been applied on the several lines which mark the edges here. So this is what my project looks like once it has been revolved and completed. Now first of all I created the sketch. And then used this option in order to revolve the sketch around the z-axis. Then once the sketch was revolved, the model was more or less complete except for this groove part. So for the grooves I selected the datum plane. First of all I went with the base plane as the datum plane, and then selected the option to revolve it in 90 degrees, and it got transferred to the z-axis. Once it was in the z-axis format, I opted the option to create a sketch. I created a circle at this point and constrained the center of the circle to remain at 46 mm distance from the base of this model. And after that I used this pocket option in order to create a groove here. Now once the groove was created, because I selected the option pass through all, then I selected the polar pattern option and rotated it about the z-axis in order to make such a groove on all the sides of my model. Then I selected the fillet option. The fillet option was used to soften these edges, and once these edges were softened, my project was ready and my job in freecad was done. After that I selected the export option from here and chose the export as STL file, and that file has already been saved, so I'll now be transferring to the Cura software. So this is the Cura Ultimaker Cura software. Now here I'll be importing the STL format which I have already exported from the freecad software, and it looks it looks something like this, and it can be viewed from all the different angles. Now I'll be checking for the different parameters that were mentioned in the assignment as well, such as speed. So the speed here is 60 mm per second, which is fine, and the different other mechanisms as well, I have already verified them. But just to have a fair look, the infill density is 100%, pattern is zigzag, so everything seems fine. So now I'll be going forward with slice option. So now I've sliced it. The time taken will be 54 minutes, and the piece will be weighing 13 grams. I select the preview option. Here I can see what will be happening with each layer. So the topmost layer, the marker will be functioning something very similar to this, and as we see, this is how the different layers will be formed. If we are talking of the bottommost layer, it will be made by the marker in this manner. Similarly, all the different other layers will also be formed, and finally we'll have our row. So this has already been saved and all the links have been uploaded in the assignment part. Thank you.